Alright guys, this is just a quick video on the Pistelle X68, or if you got one of those 100 copies of the Intrabuster from Mercury Rise. Anyways, there's been a lot of talk about the leaks and the O-rings, and some guys claim that they haven't had any issues, which is, I believe it. Some people don't believe it. There's a lot of arguing and bickering going on, I see in the Facebook groups about this marker. Some people are going off about it, saying it's shit. Others saying it's great. And well, it all comes down to the leaks. The reason why they're saying it's shit is because it leaks. People are calling it unreliable, saying it's leaks. Well, it's common sense, guys. You got a bunch of O-rings in here. This is a new design, the way they have it in here. Here, let me open this up and I'll show you. Just let me show you how shit these O-rings actually are. Yes, let me just get this off here first. Okay, this is all you have to do to open it up to change the O-rings. Boom, boom, boom. You could probably do it in 3 minutes. Oops. There's the button. I put it on the other side and it made my stun gun go off. Anyways. Yeah, guys, look. If you guys are wondering why you're getting all the leaks, like these, I don't even know if... like, these don't even feel like 70 duro to me. Like, look at this, guys. Look. Bare fingers. Look at that. No effort at all on bending those off there. So could you imagine that high 850 psi from the CO2 blasting through there is just fluttering these. We're going all over the place. That's where your leaks are coming from, guys. Just change these. That's all you have to do. Oh, don't blame the marker. Oh, the gun's a piece of shit. The gun's a piece of shit. It's unreliable. Change these. Problem solved. I see other guys who change them. They have no problem. Some guys aren't even giving them problems, but sooner or later they will. I mean, just look at that. Under no Umarex M16 VKS FSC or any other marker I've ever touched can you take an O-ring and you can look with your fingers. And this is lubed up too. These are greasy. And look at that. I can still do this with them with no effort. Look at that. Garbage. That's where your leaks are coming from. And I got this one swapped out for a green cheap Amazon one. But look, even the one that was on here is doing the same thing. Look at that. My fingers. So if I can do that with just a couple pounds of my fingers, can you imagine what 850 pounds per square inch is doing to these things? So once the air current goes by, it's lifting the O-ring out, and then look, this is happening. Look, see? And then look, your air is going right through that little hole. See where you can't really see it, where I pinched it up? That's pinching the O-ring up, and all your air is passing by, going making a fluttering noise. So, change these, guys, and you're good. I don't know why people are blaming the marker. Like, this is one of the best built markers I've seen to date, especially in a pistol form. In any form. Like, look how conservative is the air. No matter what kind of air you put through this, what kind of PSI, you get the same numbers. Unless you go, if you go under 850 PSI, even with HPA, you'll get a little less than 51 joules. These 12 gram CO2s are cracking off. They started around anywhere from 8 to 900. Warm days and go up to 900, even 1,000 psi on very hot days. But your average is about 850 psi. So if you're shooting an 800 psi tank, yeah, you'll probably get just a little under the 51. I've already shown in a video. It gets a little bit less. 1,100 psi, 12 gram CO2, 25 gram CO2, 88 gram CO2, all give 51 joules. So it's that little plenum they have up in here. There's a little, this here is like a little, when you bang and hit the CO2 up, this space in between this O-ring and the next O-ring fills up. And when you pull the trigger, that's just that amount of air is getting dumped out. So every time you pull the trigger, it's just using an equal amount of air every time. So that plenum is filling up. When then you pull the trigger, it'll empty the plenum. And then the air chamber will fill this plenum up again. And when you pull the trigger, it'll just keep emptying it, doing that process. But it's weird. Even when you stack 1,100 psi in that little tiny plenum, it's still giving you the same results as the 850 CO2. So, yeah, it seems like don't matter what PSI you put in here, it keeps the same pressure or the same power output for some reason. That's just what I've noticed. But anyways, guys, I'll show you this again. This is your problem. This is where your leaks are coming from right there. Look at that. And when these things get cold, they freeze. And I noticed when you pull it out of the gun right after shooting it, you do that, and it's stiff. It stays like that because it's so frosty and cold. And then once it warms up again, you'll see it slowly going back to shape into the slot. Like, those aren't making a seal. Like, some of them are, sure, they're holding up. Don't matter how much you grease mine, you shoot. You might get one CO2, two CO2s, and poof, it all blows out. Now, I've been changing the O-rings. These little green Amazon ones, like, I'm getting like sometimes 2, 3, 4 CO2s, and then it blows out. So it's actually a little bit better than the stock ones, but my 90 Duros arrived finally. The Canada Post is moving, so I ordered a whole bunch of different sizes: 1.7 millimeter thickness, 2 millimeter thickness. I got 11 millimeter, 11.5, all kinds. I ordered different sizes and shapes for each one, so hopefully we can find something permanent. But yeah, guys, look at that. Like, look at how garbage these are, man. Like, look at that. They just lift off with your bare fingers. You can't do that with the Orings more because they're locked in like a groove better, but they're not as soft. When you use a 90 Duro ring, it's hard, it doesn't bend, and it's not soft and moldable like this. So when the air gets under it, if my fingers can get under it with just like 10, 15 pounds of pressure, well, when you're shooting 800 PSI under it, they're flopping all over the place. Anyways, guys, to each their own, but that's what I know for a fact that's what the issue is. I'm 99%. When I get my O-rings and they take, then I'll be 100%. But I've seen lots of people change their O-rings. I've been talking to them. They swear by them. They're great. Everyone I've talked to, and everything I've seen and observed, it comes down to these O-rings, guys. Don't blame the marker. It's not the marker. Once I get these O-rings, I'll be showing a lot more of what I'm talking about. So stay tuned, guys. Y'all stay safe. Take care as always.